Hey everyone, it's April, and I just had a tooth pulled, so y'all kind of excuse the way I look and sound, but I wanted to go ahead and get these videos out. This is a couple of small videos that I have wrapped up into one, and basically it's a copycat version of Cane's dipping sauce and Cane's chicken fingers. And I was going to do, sorry I'm moving, I was going to do the Cane's bread. I kind of goofed up on that, so I will, I kind of know what I've done wrong, so I'm going to fix that video and then I'll get that out a little later. But I wanted to go ahead and get these two videos on out, and I hope that you like this style. It's a little different than what I normally do. Anyway, sorry it's hard to talk. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope that you do. And maybe the next time you see me, I'll be in a little better shape. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. And thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. Hey y'all, let's make a copycat version of Cane's or Zaxby's sauce. First of all, you're going to take 2 cups of a good quality mayonnaise, and I'm using Duke's. Then you're going to take 1/4 cup of a good quality ketchup, and I'm using Heinz. And you're going to take 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of Lawry's seasoned salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, a pinch of cayenne pepper, and 1/4 teaspoon of hot sauce. Now, to me, once I mixed this up really well, it felt like it was missing something, so I come back and I added 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce and another 1/4 teaspoon of hot sauce and mixed it up. Still felt like it was missing something, so I went back and I added 1/2 teaspoon of white vinegar and 1/2 teaspoon of liquid smoke, and it was really good. It tastes real close to the Cane sauce. It is a little extra salty because of the extra Worcestershire, so you may want to add just 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and then once everything's mixed, taste it, and if you think you need another tablespoon, then go ahead and add another tablespoon. And continue to follow me for more videos. I plan on doing the Cane's chicken and the bread, and also you can find me at YouTube at YouTube.com/MyCrazyCreativeLife 2023. Thanks for watching. I forgot to mention in this video, you can, if you want to, dip your chicken in that egg mixture, dip it into the flour mixture, dip it back into the egg mixture, and then actually dip it into the breadcrumbs. If you decide to do that, leave the breadcrumbs out of the dredge itself, and that's just another way. Sometimes that helps hold the breading on a little bit better. Alright, now that we made our copycat Cane's sauce, let's go ahead and make a copycat version of the Cane's chicken strips or chicken fingers. You're going to start off with 2 cups of buttermilk and 2 eggs. And a tablespoon of garlic powder. Mix that up really well. And then you want to take a couple of dashes of just some hot sauce. It's probably roughly about 1/4 of a teaspoon. And you're going to take just a Ziploc bag or a bowl, doesn't really matter, and get your chicken tenders. I can't tell you exactly how many that was or how much it was because I didn't weigh it, but I'd say it's at least a couple of pounds. So you're going to put your chicken strips into, like I said, either a bowl or a Ziploc bag, and pour your buttermilk mixture in with the chicken strips and just stick them in the fridge and let them sit. And I also added, I think it was a teaspoon of black pepper and a teaspoon of salt, I believe it was. I went back a little bit later and added that. Anyway, you're going to pour your marinade, if you want to call it that, your egg mixture in with your chicken strips. And basically what that does, the acid in the buttermilk and also the hot sauce it helps to break down that protein and kind of soften up the chicken, so that way you have more juicy, tender chicken strips for later on. So go ahead and stick this in the fridge. You want it in the fridge 2 to 4 hours, preferably overnight, but at least somewhere between 2 and 4 hours before you pull them out to fry them up. I did go back in and add 1 teaspoon of Celtic salt and the coarse ground black pepper in there. I'm going to put it back in the fridge, but you can add any salt or pepper that you want. While everything has been cooking or sitting or doing what have you, I went ahead and got my dredge ready. I've got 2 cups of flour, 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of breadcrumbs, 1/2 tablespoon of black pepper, a pinch of cayenne, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, 1/2 tablespoon of coarse salt, 1 tablespoon of smoked paprika, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and then I have 1 teaspoon of just pink Himalayan salt in the fine ground. So that's my dredge. I got it all mixed together, and then here in a little bit we will pull the chicken out. Actually, I'm going to pull the chicken out now, because you want the chicken to come up to room temperature before you start deep frying it. So I'm going to go ahead and pull it out of the fridge now. You want to heat your oil between 350 and 375 degrees, and you also want to make sure that that temperature maintains. If you have like an instant read thermometer, something like that, you want to make sure that your temperature kind of maintains that range. And all I do, I just take out the chicken, let some of that excess buttermilk and egg mixture drain off. Then I just put it in my bag, kind of pat it around, flip it over, pat it around until I get a good coating of that dredge on there. And then just put it in my oil and let it fry up. I probably honestly needed more oil in there, but it's still done okay. But again, you want to maintain that oil temperature, because if you do not, I noticed that my breading on some of my pieces was falling off, and I'm thinking, what am I doing wrong? What the heck? And when I checked my temperature, I think my oil was like, I don't know, it was below 320, I think. So anyway, I cranked it back up and got it back up to temperature, and then the rest of the time it was fine. Another tip that you can do, and I didn't do this because I was running out of time, if you bread your chicken first, then set it out like on maybe a cookie sheet, like a cooling rack, but bread your chicken, put it on that rack, let it sit there with that dredge on there, that breading on there for about 15 minutes before you deep fry it. If you do that, then it's going to stick a whole lot better also. But just make sure though that you maintain that temperature. If you shake your pan and your chicken seems to move freely, or if you attempt to flip it and it moves freely, then you know you're good to flip it over to the other side. If it's still kind of stuck to the bottom, if you have a rack like that, that's just a, what do you call it? Anyway, if it's stuck to the bottom of your pan, or if it's stuck to your rack or whatever, then let it cook a little bit longer, and then it should flip over. Then you want to lay them on a paper towel and let that excess grease drain off. And there you go. There's some beautiful copycat Cane's chicken fingers. And there it is with the cane sauce. And I've got a video on that if you haven't seen it already. I also was making the bread, but I kind of goofed up on the bread, so I'm not going to show that video. I know what I done wrong. I'm going to remake the video, and I'll post that a little later. But follow me for more videos. And over at YouTube, YouTube.com/My Crazy Creative Life 2023.